This is the world exclusive in the English world for the most earth-shattering discovery of the past. It might be the most earth-shattering discovery in history, and God knows what's going to happen after this.
With my technique, which is the maximum depthness that we can achieve?
He means what is the maximum depth that we can achieve. I'll help translating a little bit from his ideas, which I can see appear in his mind, because I'm, of course, a native Italian, so I know exactly the basic matrix that he is using, Professor Biondi, as he's trying to then translate in his head from Italian to English. I will provide some clarity, therefore, just in case his English is not sufficient to correctly translate what's in his head, which I can absolutely retro-engineer by the English he ends up using.
Let's say around 5 kilometers. The first time
5 kilometers? Man, that's deeper than they had mentioned in the actual conference when they talked about first 648 meters underground, then they mentioned 1.2 kilometers, and then they mentioned 2 kilometers. Now he's talking 5.
we saw these shafts. We were, me and Corrado. Corrado told me, Filippo, what are those things? No, Corrado, that's noise. The first day, the first week, the first month. But the second month we say, Corrado, we have changed the radar, we have changed images, we have changed everything, and always these shafts were completely visible. And so, how you say, by our consciousness, we announce it to everyone with a certain probability that is very high. People, there are the shafts.
With a certain probability. Well, here's the thing, though. As I say, oh my gosh, Armando May, goodness gracious. Anyways, out of the 3 speakers, May, Biondi, and Malanga, Biondi is the only one that I'm willing to believe. However, what he just stated here doesn't really increase the certainty of the shafts being under there. Once again, I'm not a debunker, by the way, before people start accusing me on that, but I'm just attacking the argument as any academically oriented mind would expect me to. Precisely because I'm very excited about this and I wish this was true, but I have to attack the argument to reinforce its validity. That's how it works. If it offends you, if you're someone who believes this, and maybe believes even more, and the fact that I'm attacking the argument offends you, then you don't know how the scientific method works, how academy works. It's not a matter of I'm going to make a statement and then if you attack it, I'm offended. That's not how it works. If you're confident about your statements, then my attacks will be a good thing for you, because then you can demolish the attacks and confirm and give even more validity to your original statement. All that matters is the truth, not what we want there to be under the pyramids. Facts over feelings. Having said that, my problem is a little bit with interpretation, because I think at this point, Mr. Biondi, in this statement that he just made, seems to be connecting the certainty that they have that there is something down there to the certainty that these are in fact shafts, and maybe even what they have interpreted them to be, which is represented by the 3D model that we all have seen. I think these two things are completely separate. Hopefully they will say that.
We announce it to everyone with a certain probability that is very high. People, there are the shafts.
So we are sure that under the pyramids are the structure we showed during the conference.
Do keep in mind that this man, Armando May, is also sure of something else. He's sure that there are the halls of Amenti down there. He's sure that 36,000 years ago is when the Giza Plateau should be dated rather than 10,000 years ago. However, the evidence that he has provided to back up that claim is completely non-existent. So I don't care what Armando May is sure of. Please point the camera at Filippo Biondi again. Thank you.
Mars, maybe Mars, that has dedicated missions that are at this moment orbiting around Mars. Why not? Can be very an opportunity to scan maybe something that is located on that planet.
This is not.
I wouldn't have a problem with that, but I would say first you need to provide more data to prove that it works on Earth. As I was suggesting, scan mines that absolutely go 4,000 meters underneath the ground, as I said in my previous video. Scan those. Let's see if you can see the tunnels inside. Scan the freaking labyrinth under Paris. That would be good, by the way, to have if it works. So after you've proven it, the three examples that they've shown, and then the pyramids of Giza are not enough to then start spending the amount of money and budget needed to do this all the way to Mars. I would say replicate, replicate, replicate. That's all science is about, right? Replicate.
The first time when a possible existence of a city in the underground of Giza exists.
90-degree angles, spirals, rooms, something straight. No, not. They are not natural. I'm sorry.
The only way to better understand
I don't know, I liked the way he said, I'm sorry.
the purpose of the pyramids is the conjunction between archaeology and science. This is the only way to understand what happened in the ancient past.
So make that 3D model. We have analyzed 1 year of tomographies, maybe 200 tomographies. 2 computers, 24 hours, 7 days were processing tomographies. So
That's the part that I keep being mildly, mind you, annoyed by both him and